Hey all you ghosts and ghouls, with October finally here, it's time to celebrate the spookiest holiday around, Halloween. Now I know this year trick-or-treating and costume parties will probably look a little bit different, but you can still get into the spooky spirit by writing scary stories. In this video we're going to go over some tips on how to write short stories so you can start creating your very own haunted tales. This video is aimed at grades 9 through 12, but the tips included are universal. Tension is one of the key elements of any horror story. It's really easy to spot in horror movies. You have the long pan across a creepy old house, you have the vacuum of silence, the quick shadow in the background. These visual and auditory cues create tension in a cinch, but they're not as readily available as words on a page. Never fear though, you can still create tension with these 3 quick tips. First, you want to visualize your story like a movie. If you want to have those long shots or a quick camera jerk in the other direction, treat your sentence length and your paragraph length like a camera. For those longer takes, make long drawn out sentences, longer paragraphs, really beefy. Just make sure your reader is very engaged in that scene. If you want a quick jerk of the camera, you want to lead their attention away from something suddenly, use short, snippy sentences and have them just stand on their own without any other paragraph beside it. 2, don't give everything away. Nothing's scarier than nothing's less scary than when you know everything about your monster up front. I mean, what's creepier? A figure standing as a spindly shadow in the corner, or just someone standing in a room? Both can be scary depending on what you're expecting, but the longer you can keep your reader in the dark, literally and figuratively, the more drawn out your tension is going to be. Just make sure that you give little crumbs of information every now and again so that readers stay invested and do want to know more and find out what goes bump in the night. And then finally, relax a little bit. Leave room to breathe. If everything's all tension all the time, readers are going to come to expect it. They're going to get used to it. They're not going to be scared anymore. If they know that every time the character peeks around the corner, there's a monster standing there, they're not going to be afraid of dark hallways. You just want to make sure that you have moments of reprieve. Just give a little bit of relief to the character and the reader, and then you can make something else jump out and scare them, and it'll be 12 times scarier, at least. So there are many more ways to create tension in stories. Obviously, this list is not exhaustive, but the best way to learn how to create tension in your writing is to actually go and read great horror authors. I would suggest Stephen King, Edgar Allan Poe, the Bronte sisters, which I know will surprise a couple of people, but Wuthering Heights has some scary scenes. Octavia Butler. Also, all of those writers are really wonderful examples of great characters, storylines, and tactics to really beef up your horror stories. Submissions for the Murray Arts Board's Haunted Tales contest are due October 19th. Join us on October 10th for a Facebook Live Q&A where we'll go over more classic examples of horror stories and answer any questions you like. Stay spooky.